What if I told you that horses shape the course of human history, not with swords or inventions, but with silent strength, trust, and endurance? Long before the car, before the train, even before written language itself, there was the horse. And the way they think, the way they see the world, has been guiding our path for thousands of years. When we talk about the horse, we aren't just talking about an animal. We are talking about a partner in survival. Imagine a world 6,000 years ago. Endless grasslands stretching beyond the horizon, humans living in scattered tribes, struggling to feed themselves, to move across vast lands to find safety. Then picture a group of wild horses, swift, powerful, yet deeply connected to their herd. For early humans, horses were first a mystery, then a resource, and eventually a companion that changed everything. At first, humans hunted them. Horses were fast, but they lived in herds, and with persistence, humans could bring them down for meat. But somewhere along the line, a deeper idea emerged. What if we didn't just kill the horse? What if we partnered with it? That partnership was not simple. Horses are prey animals, wired for flight, always on alert. To them, early humans must have looked like predators, unpredictable and dangerous. Yet through patience and persistence, humans learned to read the horse's body language. The flare of the nostrils, the quickening breath, the whites of the eyes. And horses, in turn, began to understand that not all humans brought harm. Out of caution grew curiosity. Out of fear grew familiarity. And eventually, trust. This trust gave birth to something extraordinary: mobility. The horse carried humans further than their legs ever could, faster than their tribes could travel, and with more power than any other domesticated creature. Horses became the engines of migration, of war, of trade, of exploration. Without horses, vast empires like the Mongols, the Persians, and even the knights of medieval Europe would have been impossible. But here's the fascinating part. Even as humans shaped the destiny of horses, horses shaped us in return. They forced us to think differently. To ride a horse was not just to control it, but to understand it. A rider had to sense the horse's rhythm, anticipate its fear, and guide without breaking its spirit. Those who mastered this became leaders, warriors, and explorers. Those who failed were thrown to the ground. And through all of this history, the horse's mind remained constant. Not a tool, not a machine, but a living being whose thoughts revolve around survival, connection, and harmony within the herd. While humans built kingdoms, invented writing, and pursued conquest, the horse thought in simple, timeless truths. Is it safe? Who is leading? Can I trust? This is what makes the horse unique among animals we've domesticated. Cows give milk, sheep give wool, dogs give loyalty, but horses give partnership. They do not simply serve, they collaborate. They are not predators like us, yet they chose to walk alongside us. Pause for a moment and picture a wild herd at dawn. The air is cool, mist clings to the grass, and the faint light of morning catches the curve of their backs. One horse lifts its head, ears pricked, sensing movement far off. Instantly, the herd reacts as one. They don't need words. They don't need commands. Their communication is silent, built on instinct, body language, and trust. This is the foundation of their thinking, connection. A horse does not ask, "What do I want?" When humans entered this equation, we became part of that herd in the horse's mind. That is why leadership, patience, and calm energy are so important when working with horses. They don't see us as masters. They see us as potential herd members. If we are fearful, they feel it. If we are aggressive, they resist. But if we are calm, confident, and trustworthy, they follow. The ancient bond between horses and humans is not built on force. It is built on understanding how horses really think. And that thinking is not alien. It is deeply natural, rooted in survival and harmony. We misinterpret it when we call a horse stubborn or lazy. In truth, the horse is asking, "Is this safe? Do I trust you? Are you leading fairly?" This is why, even today, horses continue to capture our imagination. They remind us of a world where communication wasn't spoken, but felt, where trust wasn't earned by words, but by presence, and where partnership meant listening as much as leading. Horses didn't just carry us through history. They taught us patience. They taught us empathy. And most of all, they taught us what it means to truly think beyond ourselves. To understand how horses think, you must see them in the context of the herd. Horses are not designed to live alone. The herd is their survival, safety, and identity. In the wild, leadership is not about strength but trust. The herd follows the horse that stays calm and reliable when danger appears. Bonds within the group, mutual grooming, companionship, standing guard, reduce stress and create harmony. Separation feels dangerous, which is why a horse resists leaving the barn or calls when a companion is taken away. Even domesticated, this instinct never fades. Two horses form a mini herd, quickly deciding roles. Add more and new alliances form. It is a constant negotiation, carried out in body language. For humans, this instinct is both a challenge and an opportunity. The horse asks of us the same questions it asks the herd. Are you calm, trustworthy, and safe to follow? Force wins no respect, but clarity and confidence do. This herd psychology explains why horses mirror us. If we are tense, they react. If we are steady, they relax. In their world, emotions spread instantly because survival depends on it. When we respect this truth, partnership deepens. The herd teaches that strength lies in unity, trust is earned, and communication never stops. Step into that role and the horse will accept us, not as a master, but as a partner. To understand horses, you must see them as herd animals. Their instincts, psychology, and behavior are shaped by the group, which is their source of safety, identity, and survival. In the wild, a herd is a fluid, cooperative system. Leadership isn't about strength, but about trust and reliability. Horses follow the one who stays calm under pressure, not the one who dominates. Bonds within the herd, through grooming, companionship, and shared roles, reduce stress and strengthen survival. Separation creates anxiety, not from loneliness as humans see it, but from the instinct that isolation means danger. Even in domestication, this instinct remains. Put horses together, and they quickly form hierarchies and relationships. For humans, this means we are automatically seen as potential herd members. Horses test whether we are calm, consistent, and trustworthy. They do not respect force, but follow confident, steady leadership. Horses mirror our emotions because survival depends on reacting to the feelings of the group. Tension signals danger. Calm signals safety. The herd teaches cooperation, trust, and shared responsibility. Misunderstanding this leads to problems, isolating a horse, demanding obedience without trust, or punishing natural herd behaviors. But when we embrace the herd mindset, everything changes. We become partners, not masters. The herd shows us that true strength lies in unity, that trust is earned, and that communication never stops. To connect deeply with horses, we must meet them in this truth. Together, we are safer, stronger, and more alive. From birth, a foal's instincts are clear. Within hours of standing, it is already learning the language of survival. Its legs are ready to run, its ears tuned to danger, its mind seeking the safety of its mother and the herd. Instinct teaches it that the world is unpredictable and that safety comes from constant vigilance. These instincts are not flaws. They are the reason horses exist today, descendants of wild herds that survived predators, storms, and harsh landscapes. When humans enter this picture, we introduce expectations that do not fit neatly into those instincts. We ask horses to wear saddles, to accept bits, to walk away from companions, to stay calm in noisy environments. From the horse's perspective, none of this makes sense. Its brain is not designed to calmly stand tied to a post while something flaps in the wind. Its instinct screams danger. Yet through training, we ask the horse to override those natural responses. Good training does not erase instinct. It works with it. A skilled handler understands that fear, flight, and herd dependence are always present. Instead of punishing these traits, training should acknowledge them and build trust so the horse learns when to relax and when to respond. This is why patience and repetition are so vital. A horse does not simply decide to ignore instinct. It must learn, through consistent experience, that certain situations are safe. Problems arise when training ignores or suppresses instinct rather than respecting it. A horse forced too quickly into fearful situations may shut down, resist, or explode in panic. The human may see defiance. The reality is that instinct has overwhelmed the horse's capacity to learn. In that moment, no amount of pressure or force will change its mind. Only calm reassurance, gradual exposure, and trust will allow the horse to move forward. Consider the common example of trailer loading. To a human, it is simple: walk into the box and stand quietly. To a horse, it is a trap. Instinct tells it never to enter a confined, dark space where escape is limited. Training must bridge this gap. Some people try to force the horse, pulling, pushing, or using intimidation. This may get the horse inside once, but it often deepens fear. A more thoughtful approach works with instinct, showing the horse that the trailer is safe, rewarding each step, and allowing time to process. Slowly, the horse's brain begins to accept that what once felt dangerous is now secure. Another example is riding itself. Horses are not designed to carry weight on their backs. Instinct resists it at first, but with careful introduction, consistent handling, and gentle guidance, most horses accept the rider as part of their herd. The horse learns that the human's signals are not threats but guidance. Over time, training creates a new pattern. Instead of fleeing from pressure, the horse yields to it. This is the essence of horsemanship, transforming instinct into cooperation without breaking the spirit of the animal. The balance between instinct and training also explains why horses behave differently with different people. A confident rider communicates safety and leadership. The horse's instinct says, "I can follow this one." A nervous or aggressive rider triggers distrust, and instinct says, "I am not safe here." The horse responds accordingly. Training can guide behavior, but instinct always has the final say when trust is broken. This is why experienced trainers often say that every session begins with listening. They observe the horse's instincts, its alertness, its tension, its willingness to connect. Training does not start with commands. It starts with understanding where instinct is leading in that moment. From there, the human can shape the lesson to build on trust rather than fight against fear. Some believe that training should dominate instinct, that the horse should submit completely to human will. But submission is fragile. It creates compliance born of fear, not trust. True partnership respects instinct and guides it toward cooperation. It does not erase the horse's natural mind, but helps it adapt to the human world without losing its essence. The dance between instinct and training is ongoing. Even the most seasoned horse can spook, bolt, or resist when instinct suddenly takes over. That does not mean training has failed. It means the horse is still a horse, still wired for survival. The best horsemen and horsewomen never forget this. They accept that instinct will always live in the horse's mind, and they shape their training not to crush it, but to work alongside it. In many ways, this tension mirrors our own lives. We too carry instincts, fear, desire, caution, that sometimes clash with the demands of society. Like horses, we learn to adapt to train ourselves to override impulses when needed. Yet when we forget our instincts, when we suppress them entirely, we lose something vital. Horses remind us that instinct is not the enemy. It is the foundation. Training is simply the bridge that connects instinct to cooperation, wildness to partnership, fear to trust. The horse does not think in terms of rebellion or obedience. It thinks in terms of safety and trust. Instinct will always choose survival. Training, when done well, teaches the horse that survival and cooperation with humans can go hand in hand. When that balance is achieved, the result is not domination but harmony. And in that harmony lies the beauty of the horse-human bond. For centuries, people have debated whether animals feel emotions the way we do. Some insisted that horses were little more than instinct-driven machines, reacting without real feeling. Others swore that horses knew joy, sadness, jealousy, and love. Today, science and experience agree on one thing: horses are emotional beings. They may not think in words, but their feelings are real, powerful, and central to how they live. Spend time with horses and you will see it. A foal dashing across a meadow, tail high, bucking and kicking at nothing but the sheer joy of movement. A mare pressing her nose into her foal's neck, sighing with calm contentment. A gelding sulking in the corner of a pasture because his favorite companion was led away. These are not random actions. They are emotional expressions as real as laughter or tears. At the core of a horse's emotional life is safety. Fear is the most dominant emotion, shaped by millions of years as prey. Fear rises quickly and leaves slowly, imprinting itself in memory. This is why a horse frightened by one bad experience may remain wary for years. But fear is not the only emotion. Horses also feel comfort, relief, and the quiet joy of security when surrounded by trusted companions. Trust itself is an emotion for horses. They do not give it easily. It is earned through consistency and fairness. When a horse lowers its head, softens its eyes, and relaxes against your touch, it is not simply obeying. It is feeling safe enough to let go of vigilance. That safety is rooted in emotion as much as instinct. Horses also show signs of grief. When a bonded companion is lost, they may stand for hours calling, searching, refusing to eat. They may show agitation or depression for days or weeks. To dismiss this as mere habit is to miss the depth of connection they feel. The herd is their life, and the absence of a herd mate is felt profoundly. Jealousy appears too. Anyone who has worked with multiple horses has seen one push another away from human attention, pressing in for touch or grooming. This is not just dominance, it is desire for connection tinged with possessiveness. Horses notice when affection is given elsewhere, and they want their share. Playfulness is another emotion often overlooked. Watch young horses in a pasture, chasing, nipping, rearing, and bucking with no purpose but play. Even older horses sometimes join in, kicking up their heels or nudging a companion into a mock chase. Play strengthens bonds, builds skills, and expresses energy. It is joy in motion, unfiltered and unrestrained. Horses also show frustration. Pawing the ground, tossing the head, swishing the tail, these are not always signs of fear. Sometimes they signal impatience, a horse's way of saying enough waiting, let us move. When confined or misunderstood, a horse may become restless, showing the same irritation a human might feel when stuck in traffic. Contentment is perhaps the most beautiful of horse emotions. A group of horses grazing side by side in silence, ears relaxed, tails swishing gently, muscles loose. A soft sigh, a slow blink, the quiet shift of weight as they stand together. This is peace, a state of being where the horse feels safe, satisfied, and whole. Science backs what horse people have always known. Studies show that horses recognize human facial expressions, responding differently to anger or happiness. They can distinguish tones of voice, preferring calm and gentle over harsh and abrupt. They remember emotional experiences and adjust behavior based on them. Their brains may not label these states with words, but the feelings are real. Understanding horse emotions is not sentimental, it is practical. Emotions drive behavior. A frightened horse cannot learn. A frustrated horse resists. A calm horse absorbs lessons. When trainers and riders respect these emotions, progress becomes faster and relationships deeper. When they ignore them, problems multiply. The challenge is that horse emotions are often subtle. A slight tightening of the eye, a small flick of the ear, a shift in breathing, these can reveal inner states as strongly as dramatic rearing or bolting. To truly understand horses, we must tune into these small signals, acknowledging the feelings behind them. Horses remind us that emotions are not weaknesses. They are survival tools, guiding choices and shaping relationships. Fear keeps them alive. Joy strengthens bonds. Trust allows them to relax in a dangerous world. Even jealousy, frustration, and grief have their place in the herd's social fabric. To deny these emotions is to deny what makes horses remarkable. They are not machines to be programmed. They are not empty vessels waiting for commands. They are living beings with rich emotional lives, constantly balancing instinct, experience, and feeling. When we recognize this, our connection changes. We stop asking only what the horse can do for us, and we begin to ask what the horse feels with us. We learn to honor fear, nurture trust, celebrate play, and respect grief. And in doing so, we step into a partnership that is deeper, kinder, and horses do not write poetry or sing songs. Their emotions are expressed in movement, sound, and presence. A toss of the head, a gentle nuzzle, a soft sigh, these are their verses. And if we listen closely, we find that their emotional world is not so different from ours. It is raw, honest, and unguarded, reminding us of what it means to feel fully alive. For centuries, humans have misread horses, projecting our own logic and emotions onto them. What we call stubbornness, laziness, or disobedience is often just misunderstanding. Horses aren't resisting us. They're trying to survive, feel safe, and make sense of what we ask. A horse that stops isn't being difficult, it's processing. Slow movement isn't laziness, it's conserving energy or signaling pain or confusion. Spooking isn't silliness, it's survival. Aggression is rarely defiance, it's a warning. Too close, not safe, give me space. Even affection gets misread. Nudges and closeness are not pushiness, but requests for connection. Stillness too can deceive. What looks like obedience may actually be learned helplessness, when the body complies but the spirit has shut down. To mistake that for cooperation is one of the greatest tragedies in horsemanship. All these mistakes stem from seeing horses through a human lens. They don't plot or scheme, they react, remember, and feel. The remedy is humility. Refusal is often caution. Fear is survival. Slowness is uncertainty. Aggression is communication. When we stop asking, why is this horse making my life hard, and start asking, what is it telling me, the answers appear in their body language and emotions. Horses mirror us. Impatience brings resistance, harshness brings defense, calmness brings trust. To truly understand horses, we must let go of pride and embrace empathy. Their world is survival, not convenience. And when we honor that truth, misunderstanding fades, leaving space for trust, partnership, and the quiet wisdom that the horse was never fighting us. It was always trying to show us how it really thinks. We have walked through the mind of the horse. We have seen their instincts, their emotions, their herd dynamics, and their silent language. And now we arrive at the most important question of all. How do we bridge the gap between their world and ours? The truth is simple but profound. Horses do not need us to become horses. They need us to become better humans, humans who listen, observe, and adapt. The gap between our species is wide, but it can be crossed with patience, empathy, and respect. Horses have walked beside us for thousands of years, shaping our history and reflecting our humanity. To understand how horses really think is to see a world guided by instinct, trust, emotion, and connection. They remind us to slow down, to live in the moment, and to lead with calmness and empathy. The greatest wisdom they offer is simple. Trust is earned, not demanded. True partnership comes not through force, but through respect. And when we listen deeply to horses, we not only understand them better, we discover something true about ourselves. If this journey into the mind of the horse inspired you, I invite you to join our growing community here on Horse Sense. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to share your thoughts or experiences, and be part of the conversation. Together, let's continue learning, growing, and celebrating the incredible wisdom of horses.